Adding moisture retaining crystals to your potting soil and your containers is a great way to help reduce the amount of times that you have to water your pots this summer. So each brand has kind of a different recipe for what you're going to want to mix, and you want to make sure to read the container and the package clearly. You can see here we had just over about a half a teaspoon of this, and we added water to it, so you can see how much it expands. And each one of these are holding some moisture in it, and the idea is that you add this to your potting soil. It captures that moisture when you water your pots and then releases it to your plant as it needs it. It allows your plant to have access to more water without sitting in soggy soils. So again, that's just a little over a half a teaspoon that we added to that pot, so you can see how much it expands. You want to make sure you follow the directions and not to add more to the container, because if you add more, obviously it's going to expand and kind of explode your potting soil and push all of that out. So that can be a problem. So I'm going to show you how to use this. What you're going to do is fill up your container about 2/3 of the way with the potting soil that you want to use. And we have a 10-inch container here, and so per our directions, we're going to need about 1.5 teaspoons of this material. So we're going to just put that on top. There's 1 teaspoon. And here's another 1/2 teaspoon. So you can see it doesn't look like much, and it seems like a small bag, but this will go a long ways. What we're then going to do is mix this in with our potting soil. You can hardly tell that it's even in there, but at this point we're going to go ahead and plant our plants, and then we'll cover with just potting soil on top. Here we've got some edamame that we're going to plant in our container here. So we're just finishing it with straight topsoil. We're not using any of those crystals on top, so you don't see any of that expand. It will expand down amongst the roots where the plant can access that additional moisture. Now, anytime you plant up a container, you want to make sure to leave about 1 inch so that when you water it, of course, you don't overflow the pot. Now, when you have added that water crystals in here, you want to make sure to water your pot thoroughly once, and then after it sets for just a few minutes, go ahead and water it again. It'll take some time for those crystals to really absorb the full amount that they can to capacity. So this is how you use water crystals if you have a pot that you're planting up. Now, if you have a pot that's already existing, how do you get those crystals into the soil once it's already planted? Well, there's a couple of different ways. Basically, what you're going to do is punch holes into the soil, and you can use either a stick or a tool, and just kind of go around the perimeter of your plant. Doing this will prevent you from getting into the roots too much. Go down quite a ways with that stick. You might also use a tool or something like that to get in there as well. And then again, using a 10-inch pot, we know that we're going to need 1.5 teaspoons. So we're just going to kind of put a little bit down each hole. That was 1 teaspoon. Now we need another 1/2 teaspoon. And just divide that evenly amongst those holes that you've created. It doesn't hurt to use your stick again to kind of make sure that all those crystals did get down into that soil profile. Now, once you've got those crystals in there, what you're going to do is then cover them with a little more topsoil. So again, those crystals won't explode up out of your pot. and they'll remain down there with the roots. It's starting to get warmer out, and in case you're tired of going out and having to water those pots every day, try adding water-retaining crystals into your potting soil to make your container garden a little bit happier.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.